Hey everyone, it's me, the Otaku Fango here, and this is a new video series I am doing as it is directly linked with my Patreon, as I have added new tiers to my Patreon, so you can go check it out and everything, and this is the first one that relates to it. As with the $5 tier, what do you get in the $5 tier? Well, you get a shout out at the end of all my videos / streams, and you get to suggest one show from the currently airing anime season that you would like me to do a first impressions video on. So, with that being said, I only have one Patreon right now, and that is Verydan, or as I like to just, call him, as he is one of my best friends, Very. So, he's been a Patreon for however many months now, I'm not 100% sure, and he's always, just been there, and I'm like, you know what, I should add something special to my Patreon, so you know what, and then I contacted him, and I was like, hey, I added a thing, do you want to claim your reward? And he did, and he told me the show he wants me to look at this season that is currently going on for anime is Vinland Saga. So I sat down and I watched those 4 episodes that are out currently of Vinland Saga, and now I'm gonna talk about how I feel about them, my first impressions of Vinland Saga. Warning, this video spoils episodes 1 through 4 of Vinland Saga. You've been warned. So what is the story to Vinland Saga? Well, it takes place in I assume this is like the Viking era of everything, and I'm like, okay, so Vikings, cool. But I have problems with this show. I do, okay? I didn't immediately like it. This is not the kind of show that I typically enjoy. So sitting down to watch it, I was like, okay, so we got Vikings, we got war, we got lots of blood, great. But what did kind of enthrall me is that the whole aspect of the show is that we have our main character. I say that loosely because of what happens in episode 4, but our main character, let's use air quotes for that. I don't remember his name. I think it was Thor's or something like that, and I'm like, why don't we just call him Thor? I don't know. And he is a very strong warrior. He is one of the best warriors in this whole area, basically, kind of, and he decided one day, hey, I don't want to be a warrior anymore. I'd rather just go live a nice peaceful life at a village, so I'm gonna go do that. So he literally fought a guy. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna escape under the water. Bye-bye. Just a bad thing to do. They're like, oh, you left war? Well, you're dumb. We're gonna send out a warrant for your murder for 15 years. Because yes, nobody knew where he was for 15 years. They assumed he was dead. But then this random guy, Floki, who used to work with him in the war and everything, was like, oh, I found him. Yay! Somehow he found him randomly. I'm like, how did you find him on this just random island area, whatever? Like, how'd he know he was there? I don't know. Also, there was this really good scene with, like, the slave thing. I think that's what kind of got me into the show. I'm like, oh, this would be interesting if the show's about, like, how he goes and travels to different areas and helps people find, like, Vinland, which is supposedly, like, kind of like a really nice continent. It's got lots of crops you can grow. The land's fertile and everything. I thought, oh, that'd be a cool premise for a show. That's not what this show is about. As it continues on, well, he has a son named... I don't remember his son's name. You know what, we're just gonna call his son Aaron, because later on, his Aaron was showing. Because if you didn't know, this show is animated by Wit Studio. They cannot let themselves animate almost anything different from Attack on Titan. Like, they really like to animate shows that are in some way or form like Attack on Titan. Now, this show doesn't feel like Attack on Titan, except for one moment in particular in episode 4, towards the end. I'm like, your Aaron is showing. But other than that, it's just, I don't know, something about Wit Studio that just like animating shows that feel like Attack on Titan, but aren't necessarily are Attack on Titan. But anyway, his son is 6. And this boy wants to go to war, and I'm sitting here like, you are 6 years old. Now, if you were 13, I guess I can understand it, but you're 6. Calm down. You need to stay home with your mom and your sister while your dad goes off to war. But of course, knowing a show like this, that's not what's going to happen, because we have to have our main character, which is the 6-year-old boy, have a motivation to want to murder and kill. So his dad dies. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of predicted that from episode 1. I'm like, this dad's gonna die. Gonna give the son motivation to want to go and kill things and all of that stuff. And the opening kind of suggested that. Like, it kind of, if you just kind of look at it, you're like, okay, well, obviously. Now, I will say, I did really enjoy Thor's as a character, but he's dead now, so. And the thing I forgot to mention is that the opening song, it's okay until it goes to the screamo kind of things that hurts my ears music, like that kind of music. always hurts my ears. I can never listen to it. It is not my kind of music. It was like, oh, you got me in the beginning, and then you kick into that, like, screamo, whatever, I don't know how to describe it. Things that hurts my ears music is what I like to call it, and then you lost me, so every time the opening plays, I skip it. It sucks, because I don't really care for his son, because he's just basically Aaron at this point. Because what happened to Aaron? Oh, mom died. Gonna get revenge. What happens to this kid? Dad dies. Wants revenge. The only thing that's missing from this is that the son has, like, some supernatural ability, which, if they bring that in later, if he has some weird, like, I don't know, some weird ability. Now, I highly doubt that because this hasn't been shown in the show to have any abilities like that, so I doubt it, but if they do, I'm gonna be like, huh, you really like animating shows like Attack on Titan, don't you? And the death scene wasn't even that sad, like, I was like, because I saw one of my friends talking about episode 4, I remember, a few days ago, I guess when it came out, and they were like, oh, you're gonna do that to me, anime, and you're gonna hit me with the Ymir song. By the way, Ymir's on the ending song, and I love that. But I was like, oh, there must be something really sad and tragic that happens, and then I get to episode 4, and I'm like, well, I'm not really that sad, because it's like, yeah, he died, but you didn't see him die. You just see him get shot with a bunch of arrows, and then there you go. And he had a cool fight before it. That would have made that really more impactful if we had more time with the dad to understand his character more. It's like, I think my favorite scene of the entire show was so far is definitely when the guys are going off to war, which was actually they weren't. He was just going to drop them off somewhere and leave them behind. But when they go up to the daughter of the dad, and like, I think the guy's name was Ari, he was just like, when I come back, and I'm just like, and then like 3 more guys come up to confess their love to her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was funny. But as first impressions go for this show, I'm not really that intrigued about it. Like, if the dad had stayed alive, I think it would have been better. But of course we have to drive a show plot with a young main character, so I'm not surprised. I was hoping to go in thinking, oh, this show might be different from other shows, but we come out of it of episode 4 with our angsty 6-year-old revenge-written main character. Now, I assume he's going to grow older, as the OP does suggest that he will get older, and I guess he'll, like, maybe become a teenager, because that would make more sense. And he's currently in the hands of the guy who technically killed the dad, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But as far as first impressions go, I'm not that impressed. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that was okay. Kind of generic. It had some good moments. I'm kind of about it. I'll probably wait for this show to finish airing before I continue it, so I can just like binge it all and then be like, okay, do I hate this or do I like this? Because right now I'm kind of in the middle. I'm like, yeah, the first few episodes were good, then episode 4 hits and you're like, yeah, this is pretty generic. It's exactly what I expected to happen. Not surprised. Hello, Aaron. And yes, you may hate me for saying that he's like Aaron, but he kind of is, so I'm sorry. But that's gonna be my first impressions on Vinland Saga. I have not much else to say about it. We'll just have to see where the show goes from here, but like I said, I'm going to wait for the show to finish airing probably before I continue it, so I can hear people's final impressions on it, and then I can make a judgment from there if I actually want to waste my time or not on it. You know, it's like, do I want to actually sit through something that might be bad or good? Who really knows? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and basically, if you want me to do another one of these, there's a Patreon link in the description. You may donate, and yeah, I'm thinking of adding a Discord, like, special tier thing. I don't really know, because, like, running a Discord's kind of hard from what I've seen. I'm in several Discords, and I'm like, yeah, they have to have a lot of moderation and stuff for that, so, and I don't have anyone to do that, so, oof. Because I would like to give back to you guys and everything. This is one way I thought to do it, so there's the Patreon. You may donate if you so feel like it and you want me to do more of these. So, I will see you guys in whatever Let's Play, whatever video I do next is, okay? Bye! What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You like rap, written by someone but you. What you gonna do?